Hey, my name is Yuri Mello. I'm the co-founder of SchoolPulse. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I've been doing therapy for over 20 years. I've published a couple of books, including a bestseller for teens. And over these last 20 years, I've learned a lot about therapy. I've learned a lot about dealing and working with students, with adults. The genesis of SchoolPulse really was 2017 when a principal that was a good friend of mine had a couple of deaths at their school, and they really wanted to change the way that they went about serving and providing their academic support to their students. And as a result of those discussions, and as a result of a couple of tragedies that occurred, SchoolPulse was born. And SchoolPulse was really meant to be a proactive tool that was able to get to the pulse of how the school was doing, how the students were doing, and more importantly, to provide them with proactive, not only support, but proactive information that was going to help and assist and raise the lives of students.
Hi, I'm Colby Jenkins. I'm the CEO of SchoolPulse. I come to SchoolPulse with an experience both in active duty military as an Army Green Beret in the Army Special Forces, and from corporate world of working at Google headquarters, and before that at the Pentagon and on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. I've learned from my experience in the military as a combat veteran in Afghanistan that mental fitness is extremely important. In the military, we are very good at training to physical standards, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, 2-mile run, and so forth. But it's a little bit trickier to train for our mental fitness. How do we train and equip and protect ourselves for our mental fitness? Well, the battlefield that we confront as a soldier is very real. And even today in the school environment, our students and our teachers and our counselors and principals are on a very real battlefield of their own, and that is fighting for the goodness and the well-being of students.
When we roll this out to your school, it is effortless. It's plug and play. It's you launch it, we provide you with these incredible stickers, business cards, and other things that your students can place throughout the school. Your students opt in with their phone, and that's it. There are no logins, no passwords, there are no apps to download, zero barriers, and your students become a part of the best positive nudging tool in the United States.
But similar to my experience as a soldier, a student's willingness to raise his or her hand and to proactively gain connection with that resource is very limited, if at all. So there's a tremendous disconnection that exists. We at SchoolPulse, we solve for that by our proactive nudging through a text-based platform. So where are students today? Where are our adolescents? Well, they're on their smartphones. And so if we want to meet them where they're at, we need to be where they're at. Another beautiful part about SchoolPulse is the transparency. We want all to be involved. We want parents to be aware. We want educators and teachers all to be involved, but not in a manner that adds more to their plate. It actually alleviates work or burdens that they may have, or stresses in wondering, how am I as a counselor going to engage with thousands of students? We understand that in high schools or in schools generally in the United States, there's a ratio of 1 to 400, meaning 1 counselor to 400 students. Well, with SchoolPulse, we can immediately do away with that ratio and make it 1 to 1, whereas our team is now engaging with your students on a 1-to-1 basis, lightening your load, dealing with those issues or engaging with students well before a crisis ever gets to your doorstep.
We'll be sending them podcasts and videos and other materials that will enhance their quality of life and that will assist them at whatever their circumstance is right there in the moment. We are able to elevate the sentiment levels of students when we interact with them 40 to 60%. That's real numbers, that's real data. We're able to see that students who are a part of SchoolPulse report to us that they feel less nervous, they feel less sad, they feel happier, and they feel more confident.
And not only are we just engaging with crises, we find that 70 to 80% of the students that engage with our teams are doing just fine. They're doing well. So we work to proactively validate that and help it grow, help it flourish even more so that positive well-being only continues to become stronger. As an educator, you have the opportunity to canvas a tremendous battlefield for tools, resources, and people that can help you in your mission to build and save the lives of the students that you're responsible for. At SchoolPulse, we are the ones that help you gain the complete awareness of your battlefield, the sentiment, the trends that are occurring amongst your students, real time, having that actionable intelligence that now puts you in a proactive posture so that you can see what may be lacking already or what resources you could bring to bear even more in a particular area.
We sometimes think that success will bring us happiness. But the reality is that happiness will bring us success. And so as we improve the well-being of your students, and we will, the data shows that we will, then we can join you to meet your own objectives. We know that you're an institution of learning. We want to support that. And we will by allowing your students to think, to feel, and to do better.
Something that is so valuable and priceless as a leader in combat is to know what the enemy may be doing in advance, if you will. And we call that actionable intelligence. It puts us in a posture of proaction instead of reaction. Having that ability to know what may be happening before it even happens is tremendous and saves lives.
One of the things that I learned in the last 20 years is often people came to see me when they were in hurt. They were deeply hurting. And then they would come see me, and then I would do the best that we could to kind of work on those problems and to get their life feeling better again. And this is what I call in psychology the medical model of psychology, which is when somebody's hurt or hurting, they go seek for help, and then we get them back to functioning. Well, what we decided we wanted to bring to students is really a much better method, which is the positive psychology method, which is focused on wellness, it's focused on achievement, it's focused on growth, on evolving, on expanding. And that's the preventative and proactive model that everybody knows is better, everybody knows works best, but that we often have a difficult time doing because we're just so reactive in our approach. We wait for things to happen. We create suicide hotlines. We create crisis services, but we're missing on the 70 to 80 to 90% of individuals who are not suicidal, but that also not only need support, but that need dynamic material so that they can live extraordinary lives.